Right, Paul. So we were just going to move on now and get you to play something, and we just watch with some of this understanding of how the tendons work and what we've just learned about the complex different movements that each of the fingers are having to try to do while you're playing something for us.
Okay.
And we'll analyze it later. Great. Yeah, great. So there's so much going on there. So yeah, we talked about these intrinsic plus positions and then the intrinsic minus positions and things in between. So yeah, I think we were going to talk about these complex chords that you sometimes need to use, like that tremolo chord that you told me about earlier on. So yeah, and if you're looking at that and you just play that for us, yeah. So there, if you hold that position, Paul, it's really interesting. So what we've got going on here is, if you look at your index finger has got a nicely matched in a DIP and PIP joint there in gentle flexion, and so has your middle finger with a greater degree of flexion. Both of them are quite straight at the MCP joints here. So that's a position where your intrinsics need to be fairly relaxed and your flexors are working. But look at what your ring finger is doing now. Your ring finger it's not only is it's straight at the PIP joint and fully flexed at the DIP joint, but it's also abducting, that is moving away from the middle finger. So you're having to use the little muscles on this side of this ring finger, relax the ones over here. You're having to do some complicated movement to flex the DIP joint here, passively then relax the muscle and let this joint extend. And then your little finger is fully extended in the full intrinsic plus position. And you can actually see your muscles at the hypothenar eminence here, fully contracting down here, flexing your MCP joint, just like it does with the bar chord on the index finger, as we spoke about earlier on, but then straightening at the other two joints. So you've got full intrinsic plus position here, semi-intrinsic minus position on your index and middle, and then something in between the two for your ring finger. And at the same time, you're doing this massive separation between your fingers, which is very, very demanding on the hand. And it's amazing what we get this damn thing to do when playing guitar. Yeah. So does that cover that then, Paul? Does that explain to you a bit more about what your hands are actually doing when you're
Absolutely.
playing?
I think that was brilliant. That was a really good session, Mark. Thank you for that.
Yeah, good. Well, we'll pause this session here and then we might do some more of this a bit later on. Is that okay?
We certainly will.
Yeah, cool.